Now, we occasionally hear about individual women taking action against an employer over allegations they've been paid less than male colleagues. But now, up to 5,000 female council staff have won a case for equal pay at an employment tribunal.
The women were all working for Birmingham City Council. They'd complained of being excluded from receiving bonuses which were paid to male staff. It's estimated they could receive payouts totalling at least £30 million. Or the Public Service Workers Union. Unison backed the women. Its General Secretary Dave Prentice is here now to explain a little more about it. Morning to you, Dave. Thanks very much for coming in. So the men were getting bonuses and the women weren't. Can you explain more what was happening?
Well, the women and the men had the same basic pay. The women could be care workers doing very, very important jobs, cooks, cleaners, teaching assistants. They would have the same pay as refuse collectors, road workers, grave diggers. But the men would have massive bonuses. A road worker would have a 150% bonus. So although the women could be on £12,000, the men would be on £30,000 for doing work of equal value.
So same average salary, but why were the men getting more then?
Well, the council argued it's for market forces, but we had a tremendous victory yesterday in the courts that said that this was a sham. There were no market forces involved. It was a way of paying men more than women. It had gone on for decades, and yesterday the court said the women have got to have equal pay, and for 6 years they've got to have the back pay that they've lost, and that is why the award has been made. It is a great victory for equal pay in this country. And for 4 years in Birmingham, they've prevaricated, they've gone through the courts rather than negotiate with us. We as a union, if that happens, by law, have got to take cases. We don't want to use the courts, we believe in negotiating, but when you get an intransigent employer, we had no choice. And you know, the decision just wipes the floor with every argument that that employer has put forward. It's got to accept its responsibility to pay women the same as men for the same level of work.
And what are the implications? I mean, presumably you have hundreds of thousands of people who are union members of yours.
We have over 1 million women in membership of our union.
Okay, and I mean, have you any idea of the figures of the number of women who might still be, you know, treated in this way?
Well, what we've been having to do is negotiate council by council, reach compromises, reach agreements. That's our job, to negotiate. But where employers are refusing to do that, and probably about 40% of local government, local authorities have yet to reach equal pay agreements, we have got no choice but to actually take legal cases.
In terms of numbers of individuals?
We've got 50,000 individual cases outstanding in the courts. The whole of the tribunal system is blocked with equal pay cases because employers will not accept their responsibilities. What happened in Birmingham was they stopped the bonuses to the men in 2007 because they knew they couldn't be justified, but they wouldn't accept their responsibility to bring the women's pay up to that level.
Okay.
Well, pay the back pay.
They've issued a statement to us saying that it was an outdated bonus system and they took positive action to remove the inappropriate bonus schemes and implemented a revised pay and grading structure. And it says, which falls within the Equal Opportunity Commission's equality guidelines. So
for the future,
those guidelines were issued when, and how many councils stick to them?
Well, there's two aspects. One is what goes forward. We negotiate pay systems which give equal pay to women and to men. So they're moving forward. But the issue is that this has gone on for decade after decade after decade, where women have been abused. Low-paid women have been abused compared with the pay that councils have been willing to give to men. And the courts are very clear that you can claim a minimum, a maximum of 6 years back pay.
How do you find out, though, Dave?
You make a comparison between the jobs that have been done, and then you actually find out what the pay has been given for that period, and the women are entitled to the difference. They've been denied money. Low-paid workers have been denied money for many years, and the councils have got to accept their responsibility to actually give them equal pay for all those years that they've been denied.
And do you have a right as an employee to go to your employer and saying how much is a man earning for the same job?
Yes, you've got a right to do it, and Unison actually takes a claim on their behalf. We employ the solicitors, we use junior barristers. They've been using QCs, barristers galore, and the point that we're making strongly is why spend millions of pounds going through the courts when you cannot win just to delay? Why not negotiate with us constructively a way through, and we're willing to find a way through with the council, and we know that money is being put aside in Birmingham. They just won't pay it.
Okay, I was just going to ask that one question is that are you confident that people will get the money given the current climate?
Yes.
You are.
They have to be given the money. It's a legal requirement. No, the law has said that they've got to be given this money.
Right, but
and
they could just
amounts
take away
that-
all the bonuses, though. They could just say, OK, none of you are getting bonuses.
Well, they have done that. They did that in 2007.
Yeah, but I mean, all councils could do that rather
it's
than-
their responsibility for what they've done over the years in discriminating against women for decades. And people have known this, and they've colluded in it. And what the judge said yesterday was it was a sham.
Okay.
It was indefensible, and Birmingham had to pay for all those years of discrimination.
But we have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
It's
Dave Prentice,
pleasure.
General Secretary of Unison. It's an intriguing subject. A lot of people are very interested in that, I'm sure, this morning.
Just let you know as well, Birmingham City Council say that the consideration is being given as to whether there are grounds for appeal on any aspects of the decision. So they're looking at the judgment carefully.
We're going to go back to the election now.